Hi, I'm Mrs. Gregory, and this is my series 11 Days to the 11 Plus. This is day 2. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, after you've watched this, then do have a look at it because it does contain some really useful stuff. So today I'm going to be looking at fractions, decimals and percentages, which always come up in the maths papers of the grammar school entrance exams. Now, most children struggle with these, but they're really not that difficult, and I'm going to show you how to do them. So grab yourself something to write with and a piece of paper because you will be doing some practice questions today. Firstly, in order to do fractions, decimals and percentages, you need to be really quick at multiplication and division. If you're not, then you need to practice your tables until you are. Percentages, fractions and decimals are all related to each other. So firstly, I'm going to look at fractions and decimals together. And I'm going to try and simplify this for you. First of all, have a look at these just coming up on the screen. These are fractions and their equivalent decimals. Okay, now you'll have noticed that little equal sign, and it's important to remember this. Equals means is the same as. So for example, a half equals 0.5 could be the same as, a half is the same as 0.5. Remembering that's quite important when you get to do algebra questions, but don't worry about algebra at the moment. All right, the quick way to find answers to questions involving the above is as follows. To find half of anything, divide it by 2. To find a tenth of anything, divide it by 10. To find a hundredth of anything, divide by 100. To find a quarter, divide by 4. To find 3/4, divide by 4 and then multiply the answer by 3. Now do you get why you need to be fast at division? And division is just the opposite or inverse of multiplication. So we're going to have a quick practice. Grab your pencil or pen and paper and write down the answers to the following. If it goes too quickly for you, just pause the video. Okay, so ready. A half of 10, a quarter of 20, a tenth of 70, 3/4 of 16, 1/100th of 1,500. Okay, now for the answers, and here they come. Half of 10 equals 5, quarter of 20 equals 5, a tenth of 70 equals 7, 3/4 of 16 equals 12, and 100th of 1,500 equals 15. Now that is all fairly straightforward because those numbers are all whole numbers, but what if the number has a decimal point? Well, you're most likely to be asked to multiply or divide these by 10 or by 100, and that again is straightforward. It involves moving the decimal point, and here's the rule. To multiply, move the decimal point to the left and, sorry, I've said it wrong. To multiply, move the decimal point to the right. To divide, move the decimal point to the left. And I'm hoping here that you know your left from your right. If you're right-handed, you write with your right. Okay, if you're left-handed, you write with your left. So let's have some examples here. 26.36 multiplied by 10. So to multiply by 10, we move the decimal point 1 place to the right, like this. Okay, so the answer becomes 263.6. To multiply by 100, we move the decimal point 2 places to the right, like this. So 43.81 times 100 becomes 438.1. By the way, if your answer comes up to a whole number, you don't need to put the 0.0 in. So 203.0 can just be 203. To divide by 10 or 100, we do the opposite. So we move the decimal point. To divide by 10, 1 place to the left. To divide by 100, we move the decimal point 2 places. So using the previous examples, 26.36 divided by 10 becomes 2.636. 43.81 divided by 100 becomes 4.381. Right, have a go at these. Quick practice time. Okay, I'm going to let you have a look at these. If you need to pause the video, pause it to do your answers. Done? Okay, here are the answers. 37.8 divided by 10 equals 3.78. 784.8 divided by 10, 78.48. 444.91 divided by 100 is 4.4491. And the last one, 10.371. Well done if you got them all right. If you still feel uncertain about any of what we're doing, you can rewind and watch the explanation again as many times as you need to until you get it right. Now for the link between fractions, decimals and percentages. Once you can confidently work out a half, a quarter and 3/4, a number of percentage questions become a lot easier. So have a look at this. 50% is a half, 25% is a quarter, 75% is 3/4. If you didn't already know this, then please learn it off by heart now. If you can hear some screaming, it's a child playing in the background. Remembering what we covered earlier about how to calculate these fractions, have a quick go at the following. So ready, quick practice time, and again pause the video if you need a little more time. What's 50% of 24? What's 25% of 92? What's 75% of 56? And here are the answers. First one is 12, second one is 23, and the third one is 42. So again, that's all straightforward as well, but what if the percentage isn't one of those? What if it's something complicated like 13% of 85? Well, this is where you divide by 100 and where you may need a decimal point. Sorry, I'm moving my arm because I have a little dog here that wants stroking. So don't get distracted. This is how we do it. Okay, 85 divided by 100 equals 0.85, therefore 1% of 85 equals 0.85. 0.85 multiplied by 13 equals 11.05, so 13% of 85 is 11.05. If you want to rewind that, do. You can see why I say you need to be quick at multiplication. You would probably need to write down a calculation like this. I wouldn't expect you to remember that in your head. Remember to keep the decimal point in the same place when you're multiplying because it's really hard to do that in your head as well. So now, finding multiples of 10%, this is a bit easier. Look at this question. 20% of 140. So we find 10% by dividing by 10. 140 divided by 10 is 14. Then because 20 is 2 lots of 10, we multiply that answer by 2. 14 by 2 is 28, so 20% of 140 is 28. See how quickly I've gone. All right, I think that's enough for today. We don't want your head to explode. So finally, I'm going to show you a few problems or real life questions, and I want you to write them down and have a go. In tomorrow's episode, I will give you the answers. Okay, so pause the screen if you need to write these down. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has really been helpful. Please share, like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will see you again in tomorrow's episode where I'll be giving you the answers. You take care. Bye bye.